Welcome back to Pretty Likkle Jacket. Today's episode is going to be based on... So, Kathy did a thing, okay? She
I did a
put
thing.
it out there in the
ether.
universe.
We did a thing.
I had nothing to do with that.
You didn't want to.
She opened up Pandora's box and allowed some folks to come in and ask questions.
Because there were a lot of questions. So I'm like, okay, let's put it out there.
There may have been some questions, but do you have any questions? And
Why not?
Obviously
There were tons. Oh my God.
Poured in.
Jesus.
So today's episode,
I didn't realize people are so nosy. People are nosy.
Nosy or inquisitive?
Nosy.
Well, you asked.
Some questions though, they're like, I'm not even reading some of them.
Oh, really?
I'm not reading all the questions, Gio.
No?
Gio, no.
I'm intrigued with the questions that...
Yeah, we can start. You want me to
Go ahead. I don't care. I ain't never scared.
You didn't want to do this.
What?
You don't want to answer any of the questions.
I'll answer the questions, but the thing about it is, what are you going to do with the answer?
I don't know. People just want to know. Kind of like
for
me.
What? What do they want to know
Just want to
for?
know.
What do they wanna
Knowing's
know?
half the battle.
This is
How
not
many
G.I. Joe.
times do I tell you? Knowing is half the battle, Richard.
I didn't even like G.I. Joe when I was growing up.
Ugh,
Even though he had the Kung Fu grip. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I did was I kind of categorized the questions because most of the questions, of course, was about our relationship, as you can imagine.
Of course.
And the other questions was about my dad, finding out about my dad. And another category was just people talking about their experiences. Most of those weren't really questions. They were just like suggestions or just telling their story or whatever. But the first question...
I don't like the look on your face. Go ahead.
Ooh, they had some questions for you, Richard. The first question I'm going to ask, don't worry, calm down.
Why am I being targeted?
You're
Go
not being
ahead.
targeted.
Go ahead. You said they had some questions for
They
me.
did have some questions
You were the
for
one
you.
that asked them if they had questions. Go ahead.
What was it that drew you to each other initially? She could have just given back the shades and it would have been done. What was it? And don't lie.
Are we?
So we had already said that we weren't going to talk about our relationship again. Like we weren't going to say anything more on it. And here we are. Again.
Once again,
So answer the question.
Open that door, Well, you asked it.
Yeah, so I'm asking you.
But it's a two-part question.
What was it that drew you both to each other?
So why did you take my shades?
I told you already. They were nice shades.
No,
they don't want you to lie, though. They're saying don't lie. Don't lie.
Why did you take my shades?
Don't point at me.
So why did you take my shades?
Because I liked your shades.
Was it just
So
the
what was
shades?
it that drew you to me?
You crazy.
Oh.
And I'm kind of crazy too, so it's just my kind of
So was
crazy.
it the nice hair and the color? No. Whatever.
No, and listen, we were in an institution or
an institution.
an environment.
Oh my God.
I told you we were crazy. We were in an environment of creativity and people were looking forward to new beginnings, and we had a lot of hope and desire at that time, and so we were looking
I think you're fancying it up.
No, we were looking for people that we could connect with.
Okay.
In school.
And connected we did.
And connected we did. I mean, that's, if anyone that goes away to school, college, even if you go abroad and you're there for some time, you're going to look for people that, you vibe with, for people that, get you.
You wouldn't know that I would have vibed with you just from looking at me.
You took my shades.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you vibe with a thief?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna go to the next question because you're not answering.
You're not
answering
you
the question.
answer
So
your
whatever.
part.
What was my part?
The nice shades thing. Don't cut it. That does not cut it. You could have
I'm not lying.
There were other
don't
people
lie,
with
right?
nice shades.
Not in the elevator at the time.
Not in the elevator. Roderick had nice shades.
Oh, Roderick. Anyway.
Sorry, Roderick. Sorry, my boy.
You guys have a strong emotional bond. How does your emotional bond differ from traditional friendships? Why do you share things you wouldn't tell others? Why do we have secrets?
Secrets, or is it just things that we, hold between the two of us because of the nature of the relationship? Listen, there comes a time when you have to be mature enough.
I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, and you're not answering anything, by the way. One has to become mature enough to, number one, recognize who they are as a person. Okay, we have too many. Some people wear too many masks. Okay, so when you can take the mask off with someone and just be you, okay, we talked about this before. Intimacy goes deeper than just a physical relationship. Intimacy goes to the point where you can be you.
I think they're asking, though, like, why is it that we feel it's okay to share things between just the both of us when we have significant others?
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's where that question is going.
Well, what is true friendship?
Yeah, but there are things that you would share with me that you probably wouldn't, and vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why do we do that?
Because people could be vulnerable with people that truly know who they are. That's why. Other people may not understand that vulnerability, especially when it comes to, when Curtis was here, we talked about that when it comes to men. Men cannot be vulnerable with you. If you've got a male friend that you can be vulnerable with, well, that's a friend. You understand? I'm talking about being vulnerable with them without judgment.
I think for me, there's certain things that I can share with you that I know you would get immediately. And with my husband, I would have to explain it. And even then, not that he wouldn't get it. It's kind of like, okay.
So you went through all of that. And, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Just wouldn't connect.
Well, that too is feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, and then sometimes you got to have someone that challenges what you say.
Oh, he will
or
challenge
what you
me,
believe.
but it's different with you. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I don't think it's that hard.
Yeah, for me it is.
I mean,
there are things I share with you that I can easily share it with Audley, but he just will not connect with it the way you would. And I don't know if it's because of because we've been around each other, because I've known you way longer than him, of course, and he gets me still, but I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I said what I said.
You're not helping, Richard. You're really not helping.
I mean, what? Well, let me ask whomever asked that question. Let me ask them a question.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, in your frame of mind, what makes it make sense to you?
Well, the person who asked this question, they were coming from a place, and they actually said it. I didn't read it in this part, but they were coming from a place of, they thought it was emotional cheating for us to share certain things just amongst us as friends that we can't share with our significant others.
Emotional cheating.
That's where they were coming from with that.
Where do we get these?
I don't know. That's what they said. I was like, okay.
Well, do you think we should, maybe explore that a little bit more?
Emotional cheating?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
go ahead.
What is emotional cheating?
I think just what they said here. The fact that we can share things amongst us as friends and that we can't share with. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm going to say this, and
Uh-huh.
I really don't care if they come for me, okay? There's a verse biblically that says, so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that two people can't share things between each other that they can't share with their significant others, and that's a condemnation in your mind, then that's a condemnation on yourself. Point blank, period. You know?
Not Black Jesus, Janine. I said Black Jesus.
So if in your mind you feel it's emotional cheating, then I'm going to ask also, what are you holding from your spouse? Have you opened up everything that there is that, you feel and you
So do you think they're
experience?
right that this is emotional cheating?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Normally when people point judgment, my grandmother used to say, you point a finger at someone, how many you got pointing back at yourself?
Yeah.
So that's guilt that you're trying to direct on
Somebody else. Yeah. Which brings me to the next question. Have you ever felt jealous of each other's romantic relationships? And how did it affect your friendship? I've never felt jealous of.
Absolutely not.
And you've had a few girlfriends since
we don't have to go there, but
just saying. Since your marriage.
Okay.
I've never felt that.
I've tried titty bread. That
Jesus.
That's not a condemnation.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, it did. You didn't understand what it was like over there.
Wow. Let's not go there. So you've never felt jealous of?
No.
And you've seen me kiss a few frogs.
Yeah, there've been some frogs.
Yeah.
But no, I never felt jealous. Now, if someone were to bring harm, that ain't jealousy though.
That's different.
That's different. You know what I mean? But no, I've never felt. I mean, shoot, we vacationed together. What the heck?
I know, right?
People just don't understand things that are outside of their norm. That's the problem. That's not normal.
That they've never experienced, and that's what that is.
That's what that is.
Yeah. Okay, another question.
Oh, Jesus.
For the 30 plus years you've been friends, you said you've never crossed the line. I personally don't believe that. So please, for the love of God, can you share an experience where you felt you might have crossed a boundary? What happened? But we're saying we've never crossed it.
What's the boundaries? What boundaries are you referring to? Okay. Yes. Okay. If anything, in the same hotel room, may be considered as crossing the boundary.
How is that considered crossing a boundary? Us being in a hotel room together?
I'm just playing devil's advocate to the person who asked the question.
Okay.
In their minds, they were like, ooh, that may be considered as...
What are our boundaries? Because that's another question. It was kind of like...
What are our boundaries?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. It says... How do you guys communicate, talk about your boundaries and feelings for each other? I'm like,
For each other?
Is it easy or difficult for you? Like, what are our boundaries? Do we have them? I think we do, but what are they?
I've never considered.
I've never had to think about it. I know.
I think, once again, listen, people, okay? When you don't go there, it's not something you consider. It's just is what it is.
I think people make too much of this, and they're making it a lot more complicated than it actually is. Because we're literally just friends.
I got a question for those who are tuning in.
Your question and the questioners.
You mean to tell me that you don't have a friend of the opposite sex that you just don't go there with? That's what you're trying to tell me? Because like the person said earlier, don't lie. I am sure that we all have those friends in our lives that they're really good friends, but we don't even think in any other terms with regards to the relationship. So when you ask a question like that, there's really no basis for it because we don't
we've
consider
never
that.
like sat and said, well, this is the boundary, you don't cross it. Like that. It's never been like that. It's like, we've never had
Here's
that.
a line in the sand.
Don't cross that.
Don't cross that line. Because if you cross that line.
Yeah, it's never been that way at all. We just live and love each other. Like that's not.
You know what? And I think that's really what's lost on humanity at this time. You just can't live and love each other. You can't just be, decent and caring and open to what someone else might be experiencing without it being more than just being a decent human being. I read a story this morning. I'll make it short. This guy used to go to Walmart all the time. He has a routine. His wife had passed away, and he's a lonely old man. He goes every Friday to the Walmart. He picks up his cans of soup and bread. One evening, there's a guy in the line. He's upset because it's taking too long, and he says something that triggers this older man. And so finally, the old man says, "Why don't you just shut up? Give him the opportunity to do what he needs to do so that we can all go about our business." And the guy tells him, "Why don't you mind your business, old man?" And he says, "Being a decent human being is everyone's business."
Black Jesus again, Jenny.
Well, that was actually someone else.
I was on point. We're reading some scripture today.
So let's get to some of the juicy ones, I guess.
Gee, those weren't juicy?
No, are you kidding? Do you think you would ever explore a romantic relationship? Or do you just prefer to keep things platonic?
Why would we? Why?
We both have people in our lives. Like, do you think you would ever? No, the answer is no.
Yeah, no.
No, full stop.
The ship sailed.
It has. It really has. Oh, my God.
See what you did? See what you did? It's your fault. You opened this door, got me over here beating this chair.
Richard.
Uh-oh.
I remember what Kathy used to look like. This one really frost my behind because you remember what I used to look like? What do I look like now?
I ain't touching that. Okay.
I mean,
but why you gotta call my name like that?
Because it's for you. The question's for you. But I remember what Kathy used to look like. What the hell?
Okay.
There is no way you had her in a hotel room and didn't move on her. Are you gay? When this one came in, I died laughing. After I was annoyed with I remember what Kathy used to look like. Yeah.
Used to
look like. Well, damn.
So you upset? Gay? Listen.
Are you gay?
There's nothing wrong about
Richard, are you gay?
There's nothing wrong with, someone who subscribes to that lifestyle. But honey, let me explain something to you. Okay? Let me look right into the camera. Let me explain something to you.
Not into the camera.
The question can be answered if you just show up.
See, now that's just ridiculous. So, are you gay?
What? So you still ask me the question?
Oh my goodness, that was funny.
No.
Okay, then no, it is. Just say no.
No, I feel like, you're trying me. You're coming for me. So if you're going to come for me, come on.
You said you wouldn't marry Richard ever, but I don't think you were being truthful.
Oh, dang. Well, they came for you on that one.
They sure did. Be honest. Oh, my goodness. Maybe I would. You know what? Maybe if the situation was right, I probably would consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think at that moment where we were on the other episode, it was kind of like, no, I can't. Because I always say, if I ever get divorced, I wouldn't remarry. And then I'm like, maybe.
Meh.
Maybe. From seeing your interactions, you both seem to be in love with each other.
Oh, Jesus.
I wouldn't want to be your significant others. There's no question there. So I don't know what
What is wrong with these people?
I know.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Listen.
want to be your significant others. Wow.
Understand this, that
Jeez.
a level of maturity is required in every relationship, especially with the industry that I work in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are...
You've done sex scenes. What? I can't say that? Why are you looking at me like
simulated.
that? Okay. Well, you're not in the porn industry.
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
Apparently I am.
So, in the industry that I work in, yes, there have been scenes where I've had to be intimate,
Yeah.
with the co-star.
And it had to be believable.
And no, it wasn't gay.
No, it wasn't gay.
Um,
You wouldn't do a gay scene if you had to? Like
absolutely not.
Why not?
No. Because
What's
it has
wrong
to be
with being-
believable. Right?
If you're a good actor, then you can make it
I
believable.
ain't that good of an actor.
I don't see anything wrong with that. But
There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not that good of
you
an
said
actor.
simulated. It's not like it's going. The act is going to actually happen.
I'm not that good.
You wouldn't kiss a man?
No,
Okay.
not that good of an
Speaking of kissing, that was one of the questions. Where is it? Have you guys ever kissed? If so, you definitely cheated.
actor.
Have we ever kissed, Richard?
Yeah, we kissed outside.
I can't with you. We kissed outside.
What?
So if you kiss, you've cheated. Yeah, that's what they say.
Okay. All right. We accept your judgment. Now, can we
You
move
gonna
on?
answer the question?
What? I
What-
did answer the question.
What was your answer?
Yes.
Okay, so we cheated.
I guess so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Moving on. How did Richard end his marriage and why?
Oh, I'm definitely not answering
And
that
is he
one.
open to marriage again? Asking for a friend.
Wow.
Do
Well,
you want me to read it again?
no.
Oh, God.
I'm simply not going to answer. I mean,
The whole idea of
I'll
this
answer the last
exercise
part of
is
it,
to.
but I'm not going to answer that part of it. because
How
it's
did
not-
Richard end his
this
marriage
is
and
the
why?
reason- this is the reason why it's not fair to her.
Okay, got it. I agree with you on that.
It's not fair to her, and
So you
and-
did end your marriage
Yes, and
Okay.
she doesn't have a platform to,
to give her side of the story.
Exactly.
But she can always come on here.
No, we're not
That was
going
a
to do
joke,
that.
Richard.
Yeah, it's a bad joke.
Sorry. Is he open to marriage again?
She's going to have to be special because, once again, some of the previous questions where it talks about how close we are. So you get involved in a relationship, you're thinking about marriage, and then that person says you have to end this relationship with Kathy.
Is that a deal breaker?
That's a deal breaker because that
See,
shows
if you
that
met the woman of the woman of your dreams and she just can't stand a bone in my body, and she says, "You got to end the relationship with Kathy for us to be together."
that's not.
I would let you go in a minute.
That's not a dream. That's a nightmare. I'm going to tell you why it's a nightmare, because it only gives way to other things, other demands, other, controlling aspects of, and then you can't be who you are. And if you can't be who you are, then who are you? That's what's wrong with a lot of relationships. People are actually pretending their way through the relationships.
That's an awful way to live.
It is
Awful,
an
let me tell
awful
you.
way to live.
It's awful.
and
I've
then-
done it. It's
And then they end up,
not good.
bruised, battered,
Yeah.
not really living. You remember, two trees can grow together unless one of them overshadows the other. So when you start to lose yourself in a relationship,
That's
what
not the
comes
relationship
next?
for you. I don't think that's a relationship for
Regret,
you. Yeah.
frustration, anger, unhappiness.
So you are open to marriage again.
And she gotta be special. Like I said, you know the industry I work in. You know, you
She
see me in the
gotta
scene.
be
I come
special.
home. I come home after a long day on set, and I come home and she's sitting there with rocks in her jaw.
Richard.
Girl, hey, it's a thing.
Okay, which brings me to this.
Why all these questions seem to be? You've only answered 2 questions, and you didn't really answer them. You dancing today.
True. We hear a lot about Kathy's husband, but not a lot about Richard's girlfriend. Does she actually exist?
Yes, she does. She actually exists. Mm-hmm. See, and that's the other thing. Now, who would say that if there was jealousy of the previous question? You're jealous of other people.
Yeah.
Relax. That's not
the last one I'm going to read is about the friendship. Do you fear losing your friendship with each other if things go wrong?
It's been 30 years. If anything was go wrong, it would go wrong. It would have already gone wrong.
The only thing I fear is something happening to you, because I can't imagine
physically.
Yeah, my life without you in it. Like
That's sweet.
I know. That's why I said it. Yeah, that's the only thing I fear. And that's why I brought you the bush, so that you can Janine's mind is in the gutter. The bush.
This is going to spur more questions. You brought me bush. You introduced me to titty bread. This is just going to spur. Yeah, no more questions. No more questions. I'm gonna like the.
You gotta drink the bush. You gotta take the bush.
Oh my gosh.
Janine is face palming here. Oh
Got my
my
own
goodness.
private bush.
Let's go to the other category of questions. One of the first questions I got about my dad was before finding out who he actually was, did you have any assumptions about him? And how were those assumptions challenged or confirmed? Of course I had assumptions about him. I always imagined that he would be this, strong, just the person who...
You didn't know, though.
Yes, but
so how could you
my
have
dad,
assumptions?
my dad at the time, I had certain assumptions about him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I always imagined him to be this strong, always... And I thought he was missing me, but apparently he wasn't. My real dad was, but the one who I had all these assumptions about, he had moved on with his life because he knew I wasn't his kid. So I had all these assumptions about him.
But at what age did he move on?
He moved on when he found it, like I was probably 3, 4, around that age. Yeah, when he found out I wasn't his kid. And he had every right to do that,
So you envisioned him as...
I envisioned him as this giant of a person.
And then...
That would just wrap me up, like just hold me in his arms and take care of me, and everything in the world will just, all the cares of the world will just melt away.
Wow.
That's how I envisioned my dad, because I think that's what I wanted. And some of it I got from my stepdad, but it just, no matter what, it just wasn't the same.
Well, all dads are superheroes until you start to see the chinks in their armor. Speaking as a dad.
Speaking as a dad, huh?
Yeah.
What was the most surprising thing you learned about your dad or his family that you didn't expect? Um, how popular the family was. And that's another question I think somebody asked. Yeah, why don't you carry the Ramsey name? It's a name that holds weight in Antigua, so why? And it's just never been a thing. Like, names matter in Antigua's a very classist society. Um, and names matter. You know, your family name matters. It's just never been something that I wanted to use as a reason to get by in this life, because I think I've done a pretty good job on my own. And it's just not something that I think I should
exploit.
And hang on to. And yeah. But the name, it does hold some weight, yes, but it's just not something that I want to. Yeah, especially not carrying that name for 20 years, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're right. No, I didn't want that. Yeah.
Yeah. Deep breath.
Yep. Did you have any support system in your family? How did they help you? It's a no. And I know I've explored this. Some family members are not happy with the fact that I said no. And I should have come to them and talked to them, but it just wasn't there. It was this guarded secret. And even after the secret was out, no one was willing to talk about it with me, except my grandmother. So, no, I didn't.
That's tough.
It is.
And sobering.
Yeah.
Very sobering.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Oftentimes, we don't realize the damage that's done until the damage itself is questioned.
Yeah.
And that's even among family members. These are the things they don't want to talk about. But when you don't, doesn't it continue to perpetuate what could be a cycle that damages the next generation?
Absolutely. Yeah. Amazing how the energy kind of shifted from like, us being giddy and laughing, and now it's kind of like serious.
Because it is sobering.
Yeah.
It's what we said from the very beginning. This is the weight that we carry.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are people in the audience that carry weight, but either they're afraid to speak of it, they don't know how to approach it, or they just continue to bury it. But the weight's not going to go away.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away. You have...
Unless you actually work at it.
You got to work at it. Yeah. And then some people internalize. And what does that get you?
Okay, so this next question is for Richard. What do you think of your dad now? You seem to paint him in a positive light, and he didn't seem like a good person.
Well, I don't know all of the circumstances surrounding his exit or why he was missing in action. I just know that the time that I spent with him, I cherished. That I got to see where I get a lot of my junk from, my mannerisms, and it wasn't that he was gone. I do remember my dad up until, until my mom passed, and remember vividly, the lessons taught, the instructions given. When we reconnected, it's not that, listen, you can paint a person in the categories of not a good person or a good person, but do you honestly know what they lived through?
Yeah.
You don't know what they've been through. I know that my father was a veteran, never spoke of what he experienced, but I could see it.
Yeah,
it
imagine the
weathered him.
trauma. Yeah, he's been through,
Yes.
seeing all that.
hmm
Wow.
And so um, we have to get to a place where we understand one another. I'm not saying you give each other a pass, but what I'm saying is you need to understand, walk a mile in the other person's shoes. So for me, I don't consider my dad as being a quote unquote bad person. I consider him as being a person that had to deal with a set of circumstances that may or may not have been easy to process, may or may not have been out of his control at certain times. But I tell you this much, when we reconnected and every
Yeah.
time that I went to see him, I knew he loved me. And that's enough for me.
Even though you didn't ask any questions. No, I'm
Didn't
joking.
need to. Didn't need to. You know what I mean?
I'm in a similar situation with wanting to know who my biological father is, but I'm scared. What motivated you to seek out your biological father after all this time? Um, First thing is, you can't be scared. My motivation was wanting to know. I've always been that person who wants to know. So that was the driving force behind me trying to find out who he is. But I find that, and I always say, fear is a lie and a thief. It robs you of everything that's good in you, and a lot of times fear comes from a place of just not knowing.
Mm.
So let that be your motivating force. Like, what's the worst that could happen? What is the worst that could happen when you find out who this biological dad is?
You
Tell
like
me.
him?
He doesn't want to have a relationship with you, but at least now you know. Instead of going through life
Well, I think that's
not
what
knowing.
they fear, that the person will not want to
But
have
what
a
if they
relationship.
will? What if they want to
True
have that
enough.
relationship?
I will say it like this: fear is incumbent in us all. We
Yeah.
all have fear or intrepidation of certain things, but to face it actually frees you.
Yeah.
You know, so even though you may have fear, face it. You know, time is such a precious commodity. And if you spend the rest of your years not knowing, it'll give way to regret.
Yeah.
If that person passes and you stalled out because
You were scared.
you were scared,
Yeah.
then you've really lost now. And here's the other thing. The reason why you want to know is because nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
You know, there's
need to know.
something missing there, and you need to know to fill
Yeah.
that void. So go explore.
Definitely. Let that be the motivating
Yeah.
force.
Find them.
There's one that came in, and it was hard for me, but I'm going to read it. I know her very well. I have asked her to come on the show, but she's afraid. I'm going to read what she sent. I'm a child of rape. As an adult, I am dealing with a verbally abusive mother who simply hates my guts. And I think it's because of this. I take care of her, but she's ungrateful and mean. I'm her only child, and she has no one else to take care of her. So I am in tears most days. I don't know what to do. I would welcome any advice. I am desperate.
Wow. Now that one has a depth that I don't know if we have.
I know
enough
the capacity
time left
or the capacity to even give advice on this. The only advice I would give is to take care of herself first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. If she's not well emotionally, how is she taking care of her mom?
I think
Self-care is selfish, and you have to be
true,
selfish.
but I think what is wearing most on her is the fact that she's giving of herself and it's unappreciated. And I can speak to that because in growing up, I grew up with someone that, or was raised by someone who hated my father. And because she hated my father, and I didn't know this until years later, because she hated my father, she took that hatred and that frustration and that anger out on me specifically because she said I looked like my father. And because I guess she couldn't do it to him, she did it to me. So my childhood was extremely abusive. Um, I used to joke about the fact that, I probably should have turned out being a serial killer with the level of abuse that I faced, not just verbal, but physical and psychological. But I made a choice.
Yeah.
I made a choice, and it's what made me a overachiever, because my thing was I was going to prove to her that I wasn't going to be the things that she said I was.
Most people are not as emotionally sound as you are, and I know for a fact she's struggling, like really struggling, and I have suggested therapy.
Therapy is a place to begin,
and
but
starting to look out for her own needs.
true. But when you're looking out for someone, you're taking care of someone. You can go an entire day, depending upon their needs.
I know.
You can go an
not think about
entire
yourself.
day,
Yep.
and you don't have the time to think about yourself.
Yeah.
So I will say this: spend some time in meditation. Take some time away. Go sit by the water, whatever calms and soothes you. Go and take that time, find that time. They have programs where you can have someone come in and watch a loved one for some time while you take care of yourself mentally.
Or a home at this point. I know.
I don't think she
doesn't want to. And as Caribbean folks, we're probably Black folks, period. We don't like putting our elders in homes. But for someone this abusive verbally, and she's going to break eventually.
Well, I don't know how long she's been, taking care of whomever she's been taking care of, or her mom.
Yeah,
you said her mom. I don't know how long she's been taking care of her mom, but listen, understand that the universe always rewards the hearts of those who are.
Yeah, but at what expense? Like, does she have to be broken? Yeah. Anyway, we have quite a bit to go through before we finish. So, but
what more?
There's tons more. I haven't. There's like nearly 100 questions.
Oh my gosh.
I grew up without a father, and it was emotionally devastating. And this is why this podcast was so needed, because there's some of the stories that we hear, crazy. I grew up without a father, and it was emotionally devastating. My mother reminded me every day that he abandoned me, which I eventually found out was not the truth. She kept him from seeing me and robbed me of a relationship with him. I'm bitter and I hate her. Like Kathleen, I barely tolerate her. Help.
Wow.
Okay. Jesus.
Listen.
This is heavy. It's heavy stuff.
Your first step is going to, and I know it's that
forgive.
You're going to have to forgive them, because not forgiving someone is like drinking poison and hoping they die.
They die. Yep.
Okay, so you got to forgive them. Number two, there's a lot of that going on. A lot of that going on where, I saw a video where this guy was told that his dad didn't want a relationship with him, couldn't stand him, so on and so forth. And he found his dad. And when he did, he went off for about 20 minutes. His dad didn't say a word, not one word.
Yep, just allowed him to keep going.
Allowed him to vent. But then his dad went in the house and came back with a box of letters.
Oh, wow.
And receipts of money that he had sent. But the refusal, she absolutely refused for him to see his son. and he was literally on social media crying. And he's like, how could you?
It's hard to forgive people like that. But you have to do it for your own sanity.
Your own sanity.
Yeah.
But, like
but
I said,
I think, as you said, the first step is just forgiving her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, but it ain't easy.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Just like, and this one came from a friend who has a friend who's in a similar relationship or a similar situation as Kathleen and them. Just like the Jamaican ladies who shared their story, this is in dialect. My father came here, but forgot about us, and it was 11 of us. He even started a whole new family with 6 other kids here. Never looked back at us. I feel the same as Kathleen and have no relationship with him. How do you abandon 11 kids? That is beyond wicked. Thankfully, we came and are all doing well, but now he wants to be in our lives and see the grandkids. Everyone else has forgiven him, but I can't forget what he did.
Well, she says she can't forget what he did.
It's a guy, actually. It's a man.
Well, he says he can't forget what he did, but you're not going to.
No, but you have to forgive him.
The bottom line is you're not going to.
Yeah.
So here's a question. For the time that he has left, are you now willing to rob the grandkids
of that relationship,
the experience of the relationship?
Excellent point.
And how would it be if one of the grandkids then turned and looked at you the same way that you're looking at him?
Yeah.
Karma has GPS.
Yep.
Understand
I'll find you
that.
in a minute.
And when we talk about how we felt about our parents, isn't it kind of hypocritical to visit the same thing on our kids? So then how are we going to feel when our kids now say, well, you see what I'm saying?
And we don't know what his situation was to leave. Well, but to leave 11 kids, I get it.
Yeah,
but
11
we
kids.
don't know what his situation was once he got here. And then, as we said, we don't know what the woman here was telling him. We don't know what the situation, we don't.
I hear you, but listen.
But he has to forgive him. Bottom line.
I can't understand how a man abandons one kid, let alone 11.
I know. 11 kids.
Okay.
11. That's a lot.
So don't get me started on the deadbeat dads.
Please don't.
Yeah, don't do it.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit because we're coming up on, we have to land this plane somehow. Kathy briefly mentioned abuse in an episode. Please share. So I think I mentioned that the reason I came back here was because of some abuse. And we should probably make an episode out of that because that's a whole story. That is the reason that I am here in America. Because after I left school, I went back to Antigua and I was going to get married and live happily ever after. And that didn't happen. And because of abuse, I ended up right back here running from a crazy person in Antigua. But yeah, we'll get to it eventually. I get to tell that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put you on the spot next time.
I don't have a problem being on the spot. I do not.
Good.
Whatever. You mentioned Caribbean men a lot and not in a good way.
Oof.
And this is in dialect. The person actually wrote me in dialect.
I ain't touching that one.
Wow, do you? Meaning, what have we done to you? Please stop. Wow. I didn't realize that I speak about Caribbean men in a bad way. Do I?
No.
I mention Caribbean men a lot because that's my experience. Most of my experience has been with Caribbean men. So, I mean, I can't say Italian men because I've not been with an Italian man.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, it's Caribbean men. And yes, Caribbean men have some
Ways.
let's go with ways about them that
Mm.
are just different from other men.
I don't know him like that, so don't come for me.
Not, I don't know him like that. I
Don't
can't
come
with
for
you.
me.
So I will not stop talking about Caribbean men. I will not stop.
Mm.
Yeah, if it warrants it, I will. I'll mention
Well,
them.
like the preacher said, if I'm stepping on your toes, get them out the eye.
Yep. There you go.
Know what I mean?
Hit dog will holler.
Oh man, that's what?
Mhm.
Say that again.
Whatever. I can't stand you. And the last one, which was kind of interesting, Kathy's skincare regimen, please.
I don't know nothing about that. Okay.
It's not complicated.
Mm.
It's
We really gonna?
yeah, why not? So I moisturize, I exfoliate, I moisturize, I drink water, and I mind my business. And I do laser. You know what? I have been doing laser lately with Arlene from Vibrant. And one of these days we need to have her on because she's been, I think that has helped my skin quite a bit. Laser. Yeah. So, yep, that's it. But mostly minding your business, drinking water.
That's gonna be a girl's.
You'll be fine. Men do laser too. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up because some of these other questions were just heavy.
Well, the audience
And some of them were
deserves
nosy.
to be heard. The audience deserves to be heard.
Yeah.
No?
But this was interesting doing this, right?
Don't ever do that again.
I actually liked it. I didn't mind it
Yeah,
at all.
because you get just like taking
Well, I
my
was
shades.
reading the questions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You did good answering them. Thank you.
Whatever, Kat.
Oh, thank you guys so much for tuning in today.
Am I gay?
You already said you're not gay, Richard. It's okay.
Well-
and if you are, it's okay
Well,
too.
you-
I would love you the same. I promise you.
But the way I remember the way Kathy used to look, you took issue with that. I can't take issue with the assumption of being gay.
Thank you guys for joining us today on Pretty Likkle Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you on the next episode. Say bye, Richard.
Bye. Bye.
No bye, Richard, today.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.